Good morning, everybody. Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations. I am on a few minutes early, and I'm not planning to be on for very long because this week I really want to focus on finishing this tub of whips. And I was doing the hashtag Wheel of Fate, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the numbers that we have left. I will immediately finish the little boy's pajamas because I've already been working on them. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my finger to quit bleeding from doing my morning stick. I'll show you what I've got. Here's the little top. Good morning, Teresa and Ann and Angie. So I've got the sleeves are on and hemmed. I don't like to do set-in sleeves at all, where you sew the shoulder and the side up, and then you have to fit this round shape into the round shape and then sew on a curve. I put my sleeves in when you've sewn the shoulder seam on, and then it's in the flat. So it's so much easier to get around that. And then once the sleeve is in position, then you sew under the arm and down the side, and then you can hem both ends. This has got its facing on, and you have to turn the facing out to the outside. And they said to stitch, and I think it was 1.25 inches. So I've put a little mark there on the fabric. And the reason you do that is so that when you turn this back in, you'll have a real nice finish at the front of the pajama top. And the bottoms, they're like, 2 seams and then hemming, and then put some elastic in it. So I do still have the pants here. And once I get those finished, then I have the other set that's the bad to the bone. I don't know. It was bad to the bone was the fabric. I don't think the little boy that I was making these for is that bad, but he can be naughty at times. But he's a teenager now, so we'll see if he makes it out into the world okay, because he's not making very good choices right now, says his Aunt Becky. It's hard getting him through those teen years, isn't it? So that will be the first thing that I finish. So I'm not going to tell you what each number is. I'm just going to write down the numbers we have left in the box. Came across this cute paper pad. It's got cats on it. Well, it's part of a paper pad. And I'm just going to write these numbers down. If Howard will let me get in the box. Move, Howie. Come on, move along. And we're going to put these in order that I'll do them. That way I can just start sewing and work my way through. Oh, and I'm wearing one of my new dresses, and I think it fits really good. So, and I love it. So that was a bonus. A dress for $6.50. So everybody's saying good morning to everybody. So we have bag 7 and 9, 7, 9, 11, 7, 9, 11, 14, 15, 17, and 20. Is that 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So that's what I've got in my bin. And we'll put the camera down so you guys can see the numbers too. And then you're going to just pick them in whatever order. Just pick a number that I have left here. And that's the order that I'll do them in. So we have 7, 9, 11, 14, 15, 17, and 20. So that's what I have left. And then this will be my due. list. So if you guys start, just throw out some of these numbers and I'll just write them down as you throw them out, and that's how I'll do them. So number 11 will come after the PJs, and then 7. Howard just knocked the dust mop over. It's only the 3 of you is in here this morning. Oh, there's Ruth. Ruth says do 15 after 7. Ruth's sneaky. She comes and hangs out, and then when I say bye, she shoots her little pink hand up. So we got 7, 11, 15, and 20. So 9, 14, and 17 are what's left. Hi, Mama Juju. Nine. Howard's opening the kitchen cabinet. Sorry, guys. I think I'm getting ready to get sick. 17 and then 14. I gotta get something to drink. There you go. Howard, get out of cabinets. Get out of cabinet. I'll get a little bit more coffee. All right. I'll bring you back up now. Sorry about that. I hope I haven't caught that flu that Greg had. It's been about the right germination time. Still don't have the green desk in here. Greg went to Myrtle Beach with his friend and her daughter. So, yeah, that didn't happen again. So I'm going to put them in the order we're going to do them. And then that way I can just reach in here. So number 11 will come next, which is the bag. I don't remember which view it is, but it looks like I'm going to do thick handles. So it's going to be this bag. It's a Vogue pattern, so this will be a challenge. So we'll do that next. And then we're going to finish the Christmas stocking off that we started together when I was up at the little house. And then 15 is the real pretty blouse that I hope will fit me when it's done. And I think this one right here, because it's got the bell sleeves on. Ow! Howard got my paw. Howard got my paw. Yeah. Howard, you are so full of yourself this morning. Oh, he brought me a mouse. Howard. So then this top will come after the stocking. And then after 15 comes 20, which is the green dress that I had started making for my sister's wedding. And they've been married nearly 20 years now. So this is an oldie but a goodie. I might make some alterations on this so it's more wearable, because it is a costume fabric, because it was for a period wedding. And everybody that was in the wedding and everybody that attended the wedding was in garb except for us, because I didn't get this finished in time. So that'll be in there. And then after 20 comes 9, which is the dragon. The shoulder dragon. And then 17 is the skirt. I'm pretty sure it's the one that's got the little flounces on it. And then the last thing will be the tricky, slicky house pants. This knit is so thin, I probably won't leave the house in them, but they'll be great for lounge pants or lounging around the house. So now they're in here in the order that I need to do them. So I can just come and grab one out, and I'm going to put my list right in here just in case things get out of order. Not that they will, because they're in this tub. So I wanted to share that. And then pick this dust mop up again, Howard. I haven't made any more dishcloths, but I did make some more of these doubled pot holders. This one was the first one that I made. And then I made this one, and everybody, the votes were kind of, that one's too small. So then I made this one, which I really like mixing the two. And I love that how it creates that stripe. So you can use your scrappies and just do little stripes on them. That one I didn't get quite square. I should have done another couple rows around. And then here's the last one that I did, that I finished. And that was just using 3 balls of partial skeins. Now he's got the green bird that used to chirp when they played with it, but they've broke the thing inside it, or the battery's dead. I also have printed off, this is a reason to finish the stuff in the tub. I printed off this knitter's bag, and here, let me see if I've got a picture of it, what it looks like finished. And I'm going to make some of these bags up. Here it is. It looks like that. But on this instructions, they had you do the part where after you sew the side down, you fold the bag and then you sew across and cut it. I don't like to use that method. I don't feel like it's as accurate as if you just go ahead and cut out the 2-inch section right here. And that way you're not cutting that fabric out to just throw it away later. So I just cut it out as I'm cutting the pattern out, and then I just bring those two together on the corners, and that creates the boxed bottom. I like this better. So I've already altered this gal's pattern just because that's what I like to do better. I'm trying to find where I got it from. It doesn't, yeah, right there it is. SewVeryCrafty.com. That's her website if you wanted to get the pattern. I'll put a link to it in the description box. Anything else that I want to chit chat with? Well, so what? Everybody have a good weekend. Good morning, Brenda. Yeah, I will. If it starts getting bad, I'll go. One time, Greg got the flu, and it settled right on the little thing that hangs on your throat. It stuck right there, and his uvula swelled and had almost filled his throat. And he didn't have insurance at the time, so it was like $400 at the doctor's, and he didn't want to go. Finally, I told him, I said, you got to go. And they told him he was real close to having to be taken to the hospital by ambulance. So yeah, I don't play around if I'm feeling that bad. How was Corner? How was, oh, let's see. Trying to get the kid to lay back down. Yeah. You just got to make sure that you're not getting a bunch of fluid in your lungs, because then that creates what they call, isn't it, pleurisy, where your lungs are full of fluid. My mother was a respiratory therapist, so I know how dangerous the flu can be. Good night, Angie. I've been thinking about it too, because I got up at 3 o'clock this morning and then laid back down for a little while, but my stomach's been iffy because Scott wanted a burger last night after we left his mother's at like 8 o'clock. And I wasn't going to get something, but then he went to McDonald's, and you can't get just a cheeseburger meal. You have to get 2 cheeseburger meals. And I told him, I said, I don't want dairy this late. So he asked, can you take the cheese off one of the cheeseburgers since you're making me take 2? And it didn't settle well. So corned beef. Yes, it was delicious. Scott and I ate yesterday, and then I made Scott a lunch and Greg a lunch, and we made a plate for his mother. And then there's a little bit of corned beef and some cabbage left that I could eat on today for lunchtime. But it was like the perfect size. And I was surprised that I got that many meals out of it, because it wasn't but, just a tiny little corned beef. It wasn't. But, by the time they cook down and they shrink and shrink and shrink, it wasn't very much. But we've had our corned beef. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yep, I have some green on so nobody can pinch me. Remember that in school? If you didn't have green on, you'd get pinched. And the girls would say, well, my bra is green or my panties are green. You just don't know. Boy, those storms yesterday, I was glad we went out and did our thrifting on Saturday, because we weren't going anywhere yesterday. I was kind of worried about Greg and Mary and Darby down at Myrtle Beach trying to get back, because it was coming down hard, and they would be, depending on which way they came, from the beach. You either take the back way out 378 and go the back way, or you can get on I-20, go 77 to I-20 and take I-20 up through Florence to the beach. I prefer the back way. There's so much more to see on the back roads. And it's a little slower, which is, at our age, we're keen to go the slower route. Good morning, Peter. I hadn't seen you in here in a while. Of course, I've been bad and not getting up and about too good on Monday mornings. But today I said I'm going to make sure I get on there, because I want to get my projects lined up so I can just go from one to the next and finish this tub of fabrics this week. I'm really thinking about that bag that's in there, because after that bag with the skulls on it, the one that's hanging over here, because somebody might not know what the heck I'm talking about, I'll grab it. This bag here that I made, it's pretty cool. Like, if you have a day you're out, you can put it over your shoulder, and the strap is adjustable. So I think I could make it long enough to do like crossbody. So if we went on a hike even, it would be good to put lunch in. But getting this little pocket on here perfectly and doing all the layers it took to do this side, because there's a zipper up under here. And there's a pocket inside there. And it's got a different fabric because I missed cutting something. This bag was tricky, apparently, to cut out, because I think that's why it got pushed back, because I had cut it out incorrectly. And yeah, but I figured it out. And then there's a zipper back here, and that opens to the main bag, which there's different skulls inside there. And there's a pocket that you can't see in there as well. So it's got plenty of pockets and stuff. I think the little pocket on the side, if I remember right, is for your MP3 player. So you put your MP3 player in there, and you'd have your earbuds come out here, and then you could put it on your shoulder. Yeah. Very 90s bag. but I'm going to use it for crochet projects when we're traveling. I can throw some cotton in to make pot holders or dishcloths and be good to go. But I'm hoping that bag that's in there is not going to like do my head in, because it is a Vogue pattern. And anybody that sews knows that Vogue is like designer level, and they've got different terminology sometimes, and they do different techniques. And it's a very good company to go to if you want to expand your skills and really test your skills. But be prepared. You might find it an extra struggle. Let's see. Uh-oh, the phone. Let's see. Anne's making her corned beef today. And the little potatoes, I did end up peeling them, and they turned out good. I hadn't realized that Scott had bought yellow potatoes. So when I put the cream sauce on, I'm like, these potatoes just don't look right. So I looked at the bag and they were yellow potatoes. Generally, we get the little red potatoes. Oh, no more coffee. Nope, no more coffee. Oh, no. Let's see. We have to pinch Tree so she doesn't have her green on. We got our phones did not go off, which I was very thankful for, because one tornado warning over the phone system is enough. So I was glad we didn't get those, but it looked like Alabama got smashed by tornadoes. Ryan Hall y'all popped up, and so I watched him for a little while, and they were talking about all these towns, and I'm like, well, where is this? And then I finally figured out they were talking about Alabama, and on his map it just looked like there was a hit here, 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 and then there's like a cluster of 5 of them. I'm like, I am never going to move to Alabama. Sorry, just not going to do it. It does. The skulls disappear on my. Yeah, it does. Look at that. That's funny. This was a challenge for me, and I appreciate what it taught me, but am I going to make another? Probably not anytime soon. There are some other bags in that pattern envelope, so I might look at some of the other ones. Lord knows I've got a closet full of patterns, so I really don't need to make anything twice if I don't want to. Oh, wow. That's too close, Teresa. 5 miles from you. Yeah, I saw some clips of people, like their little dog was sitting next to like what looked like what would have been their bed, and then like the walls were just gone, and it's terrifying. Well, you all had some rough weather in Australia recently too, didn't you? I thought I saw that pop up on our news, or the little blips that I see. I don't watch television type news. Um, I I see things from like MSNBC or MSN or BBC, or the larger news outlets that pop up on my phone. That's what I look at. I was thinking about when we on the farm, if we had leftover roast beef, my grandmother would grind leftover roast beef with the potatoes and make just like this roast beef hash stuff. And then she would pan fry that, and then we'd have scrambled eggs with it. But she would also grind the meat up without the potatoes and mix it with some celery and onion and a bit of mayonnaise, salt, and pepper. And it made this beef spread that was oh so good. I'm almost tempted to try chopping up the last little bit of corned beef that's set aside for me for lunch and just make corned beef sandwich for lunch today. I might do that. Yeah, that's what that map looked like, Teresa, that there was like just a ton of tornadoes. I'm so thankful you're safe. That's wonderful that you are fine. Yeah, I think what happens, I think we piss Mother Nature off sometimes because we're not doing the right thing to take care of the planet. And so she reminds us who's in charge. Oh my God, a tornado and an earthquake? Oh my gosh. He owns nothing green. I don't think Scott has any green because Scott thinks this is hilarious. But if he wants me to pick up a shirt or whatever, it's usually always blue because he looks so good in blues, blue stripe, blues, different blue solids. So he says, you never buy me anything other than blue. So he needs a new white shirt because he doesn't wear his dress shirts often enough, and his has been hanging for years, and he's lost so much weight. So I need to measure his neck and his arm length so I can get him a new white dress shirt because he needs a new white dress shirt. And I think he needs some white t-shirts. So let me see. Oh, goodness. Yep, it's St. Patrick's Day. That's why we're talking corned beef and creamed potatoes and cabbage. I was sitting here, and the catio's right there, and I was watching the water because the porch is at an L, and I was just watching the water just pour off the roof because we don't have gutters. I don't want gutters. They're a maintenance nightmare. So I just let it fly off the roof. At my mother-in-law's, to get to her front door, you go up some steps onto her porch. Well, they took the diverter off because it was she's in a tri-level, so it was creating rot on the house, having the diverter up there. So you have to kind of run up the stairs and hope it doesn't go straight down your neck. It went straight down my neck. And then Scott says, I'm going to look up, and then it'll just hit me in the face. And then he got to the top, and then he looked down, and it went straight down his neck. I said, it didn't work, did it? So the wind didn't get up horribly bad here yesterday. We just got a ton of rain. And what's bothering me about all the rain is I know that we need it because when summer comes, we probably won't get any much. But that dehumidifier under the house, when it's raining, it runs nonstop. Our electric bill is going to be so blooming high. Oh, wow. My parents, their driveway's about a mile long back into the woods, and they're constantly having to bring in more gravel. They've got drains along it, but they fill up with leaves and stuff. And I mean, they're both getting close to 80 now. So you cook your potatoes with your corned beef. I've seen people do that, and I saw somebody was adding carrots to the mix and putting it in, but I did mine on the stove so that I could do the cream sauce. We've taken to picking up T-shirts at Goodwill for Scott to wear, around the house here, because he'll wear short sleeves at home, but he doesn't wear short sleeves out because he's got that real scaly skin, and everybody comments on it, makes him feel uncomfortable. So even in the summer when it's like 110, he wears long sleeves to work. And they've switched at his job, and they're wearing a black shirt and then either navy or black pants. It's a uniform. And so the ones that the company provided they look like they'd be breathable, but they're like that polyester, and he just can't stand that close to his skin. So he ordered like 5 or 6 cotton shirts, just regular cotton shirts. And so he's got those, and he's got the other ones in the closet. I said, you could turn those back into the uniform company. He said, nah, it's all right. I'll just leave them in there. And I'm just like, okay. You cook your potatoes, carrots, and cabbage with yours. Do you do yours in the slow cooker? I did my corned beef in the oven this time, and it turned out really good on 300 degrees for like 3 hours. And then I had to, as soon as it came out, I bumped the heat up on the oven because I made apple crisp yesterday too. And Sundays, I have more time to cook at breakfast time. So I had made blueberry muffins, and there's a couple of those left. I might have one after a while. I'm not hungry this morning at all. No. But I took Scott's mom 2 blueberry muffins, and then some of the apple crisp, and then the corned beef, cabbage, and potatoes in the white sauce. And so she's got that to eat today. And I don't know. I need to make sure that I start fixing some lunches or little meals for her. I don't want to take her too much food because other people provide food too, and then she'll just leave it in the fridge. And I'm afraid she's going to eat food that's too old because she can't really see if something's got mold on it. And I told Scott, I said, maybe I should start dating the dishes too, with a piece of masking tape so she knows when it was put in the fridge or when it was made, so that she's not eating things that could make her sick. Hey, Joyce. I'm just chatting this morning. I hope you guys are okay with that. We got the business out of the way, so I know what to do next in sewing, and I don't really have anything planned. I did a background last night, just playing around. On that piece of paper, I had wrote black with the black Sharpie creative marker, and it didn't bleed through. This is a little piece of mixed media paper. So I taped it down, and I just did this little background to cover the word black up. And so I want to do something on this, but not today. I'll set it aside and I'll pull it out. I wouldn't mind doing an animal of some sort on here in that method where you draw the animal, and then in the background, you knock the background back. Let me see if I can find that. Because of Howard, I've had to move some things because he was going crazy in here last night. Where is that black folder? Oh, there it is. So you do it like a background. It can be a really busy background. And I learned this during one of those, the short freebie little classes. And then you draw whatever your animal's going to be. She had us do this goofy dog. But you knock the background back, but leave it within the animal. And then you start painting the animal like in regular colors, but leave a section where the original print is. And I thought maybe I could do Greg's cat Cole on here. It would be a small one. I even wrote on this one. Done following a lesson with Emma Petit, Art Spain, as part of the MCE Creative Retreat Weekend 7/8 and 7/9 of 2023 with the Artist Magic Online. So that's where I did this. It was a creative weekend and it was like full of different projects. I've got stuff laid up. And this was another one that we did. And this was day 2. And this was done with Nadia Duff. Actually, this one was done with Kaleidoscope Taster Week 2023. So this was Kaleidoscope. Cool colored inspired portrait. And everybody did that one. So actually there are 2 different art things that I did. And then this is a watercolor on black, part of the Kaleidoscope Taster Week 2023 with Andrea Gomel, Magical Northern Lights. And you use metallic watercolors. And I just thought it was really a fun project. So take part in those little taster weeks or weekend activities because you can learn new skills and the artists are giving you their time basically, you know? So take advantage of those if you can. This one was another fun one and I'll just hold this up. And I love it. I wouldn't mind framing the darker colored one. I could add it to my wall over there. June 2023. This was day 2, guide number 4, Expressive Color Block Owl with Kim Dello. This was part of the Kaleidoscope Taster Week 2023. So yeah, I might put this one in a frame. Stick him up there on the wall. I've decided the wall right in front of me is going to be nature themed because that's what I've got mostly up there. But that dog is what I want to do similar on that background. And that goes in here. I'm glad I wrote on the back of these. This was part of Kaleidoscope 2, Flight to Fancy with Tony Burt. Tony, Toniburt. I love her art. She also does ceramics. And she's been doing rabbits lately. But I love the little watercolor bird. When I started him, I was really over too far. But I think it still looks okay. But that's another one I could frame and put on the nature wall. And you know, have some of my own art up there on the wall. Mix it in with the friend art. So there's that. All right. Hey, Deb. I had everybody help me put the last 8 projects, well, 7 projects in the order. I think I'm going to sign off here and get to work on the white pajamas. I'm not sure if I'm going to have thread in that background color for this set of PJs. And this is like a size 3. But this just needs that facing sewn and then flipped and put the hem in and then buttonholes. And I think the top will be done. And like I said, the little pants take like 2 seams and they're done. In fact, the little pants should tell me. Because see, the little pants, you cut them like this. So what you do is you sew the legs here and then you keep one right side out and one wrong side out. And then you put one leg inside the other and you sew the crotch curve. Because when you sew these together, you sew the 2 legs together, it'll form like this. And then you just match the front and the back, which the one's got 2 little triangles and one's got 3. You just slide them so they're right sides together, you slide them in, and then you just sew this curve up around. So it's, you sew this, you sew that, you hem it, and you put the elastic on, you fold this down for the elastic once you get them sewn together. And this says size 4. So these are a size 4. You can make pants for yourself just like this. If you can get your fabric, wide enough. And you would leave the you wouldn't fold your fabric in half to cut this out. You'd cut 2 in a single layer. You just would cut, you'd lay your fabric down and you'd cut one with the pattern the right way up. And the next time you cut it, turn your pattern piece over so that you'll have the mirrored image. So you can get 2 legs that are actually going in the opposite direction so that when you put them inside each other, they're going the same way. I know that sounds confusing, but it's, once you know, you know. All right. Hi, Melanie. It's such an easy way to do pajama bottoms. And then, most guys, they like pajama bottoms and then just a regular, t-shirt. And like I was saying earlier, we've taken to picking up t-shirts for Scott to wear around the house because t-shirts at Goodwill are $1.50. So can't beat that. I don't think I have anything else. I'm going to let you guys go because I'll just sit here and ramble over nothing. And you need some flannel house slippers. Oh, that'd be cool. Are you going to put the that non-skid stuff on the bottom so you don't slip? I have some slipper socks that I picked up at a Goodwill. They're super thick, so they only work for like the minute it's really cold here. And I noticed if I try to wear them to sleep in them, because I do wear socks to bed now. I've reached that age. And plus the Ozempic makes your extremities cold, like your hands and your feet. So yeah, but I can't wear that particular pair. And I'm also thinking about getting some of that stuff that comes in like a paint to put dots on the bottom of those slippers that are a little bit more grippy than what's on there because they do slip slidey. All right, Joyce, welcome. And yeah, go back. You can see what I'm going to be working on. So on Friday, I'll probably do a hashtag Friday sews with the rest of the sewing folks. That's a normal thing on Fridays. You do the hashtag Friday sews. It's put out by Jen at Today in Jen's Sewing Room. And it's all about, telling about what you've been making, what are your plans, and just a little bit of your everyday life that you might want to share, and that kind of thing. So that's, yeah, like the puff paint. That's something that you can do. Carol at Sew Carol has finished her hashtag fabric wheel of fate. I had to remember it. And for a while, she does one wheel, like 6 projects or 6 fabrics. And then when she's done, she takes a little break and then makes some other things that she's been wanting to make. But the reason she started it is to use fabric that she's had in her stash for years. And she's been making some really cute things and using up fabric she's had for a long time, which I commend her for that. And that's how I got the whole idea of finishing all these works in progress that I've started over the years, either lost interest at some point. The children got too big for whatever I'd cut out. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Just make them up. And if nothing else, I have things ready that if somebody has a baby or somebody, that I knows, needs a little gift or cheer, I'll have some bag or some project that I can give. So you got to get your kids up. Bye, Melanie. Thanks for stopping in. And also, oh, there was one more thing stitch-wise that I wanted to talk to you about. This month is the hashtag So Frugal. If you look hashtag So Frugal up, you'll see where this is like a yearly thing that happens in March, and it is Ruanne at the Yorkshire Sew Girl, and there's another lady, but they started this. And what you do is you go online and you find a free sewing pattern, and then you have to use fabric you already have. You can't go buy fabric for it. It has to be fabric that you already have, or a recycled item like sheets out of your closet, blanket out of your closet. It's a recycling or use of something you already have. So I went looking and I found a pattern on Mood for some shorts. And then I found instructions on how to draw up a pattern with using your very own measurements for a kind of cropped tank top project. So I've got those in the ready. So that's the whole reason to finish these 8 projects this week, because I do want to participate in So Frugal, but I want to get these 8 off my plate first. When I share those projects, I'll include the links to the patterns that I found. But Mood, from Project Runway, Mood Fabrics, they have a bunch of free patterns on there. You do have to watch their measurement and size chart, because think about it, they're doing for the designers, their fabric, you can purchase it, and it's, but it's really for the designer market. So their sizing is for the designer market, not your everyday housewife measurements. So keep that in mind, because you might need to sew a size either smaller than you would normally or larger than you would normally. You really got to pay attention to their sizing. You also have to pay attention when you're doing free sewing patterns. Really watch for their seam allowance. It's not a standard 5/8 seam allowance. I'm getting croaky. Sometimes they'll only have a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Sometimes it's 3/8 of an inch. Sometimes it's a 1/2 an inch. Sometimes they tell you in centimeters, so you really do have to watch when you're going for the free sewing patterns. And also keep in mind, the free ones have not been tested like, a big 4 pattern, like a Simplicity. They've not been tested that thoroughly. So there might be some learning curves and some adjustments that you have to make, but they're offering these patterns to you for free. So you really can't complain. You just have to boost your talents and your techniques. All right. 28 degrees. I don't know what it is here. Let's look on my phone. I miss the weather, our outdoor weather guy being right where I can see him. Let me see what it says here. It says we are currently at 63 today. I don't know what it is right now. It's 55 right now. We're going to go up to 63. And I'm in the central part of South Carolina. At 11 o'clock, we're going to get some rain, 20% chance of rain. And then the sun's supposed to show up about the time Scott gets home and has to go back out to teach. So, okay, now I am going to let you guys go. So have a great Monday. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy your corned beef and cabbage and potatoes. Bye.